Hey team, hope you are all well. So today we're going to have a look at rowing machine setup and technique, specific to HYROX, but also for general usage. So we're going to cover, obviously, technique for sure. We're going to look at damper settings. We're also going to look at foot strap settings as well, and the best way for you to optimize your rowing speed and distance efficiency. Okay guys, so at the side here of the row machine, you're going to see a little slidey handle runs from 10 through down to 1. Now, this basically works as an air intake system. So the higher the number, the more air that's allowed into this fan system, the more resistance it then creates. The lower that's pulled down, it then blocks a lot of the air supply coming in, which then lessens the level of resistance. Now, there's a definite science to this for sure with regards to where you need to set for you. Now, the theory goes, if we are set really, really high up into this level 10, high damper setting is going to create more resistance, which theoretically allows you to cover more distance as you row. The problem comes though, because there's more resistance, the muscles will fail and fatigue a lot faster. So we can do what's called damper testing to try and see where the optimal damper is for you and your technique. Generally speaking, most people would be about an 8, 7, 6, somewhere in this kind of region for most people. Finding the right damper settings for you is really key with regards to efficiency in rowing. So the way we can test this is simple. We row between 300 to 500 meters, which the distance is not too short or also not too long, but we have enough recovery at the back end before we start again. So set number 1, we set that damper setting right up to 10. We go for, say, 500 meters where we row as hard as we can to get as big a distance as you can, and we record that distance off. We then take enough recovery that you're fully recovered before we start again. Your second set, you then move that damper setting down to maybe 8, for example, and then repeat that 500 meters. And then compare and contrast the distance you achieve from set 1 to set 2, and then you repeat that through under 6 damper, 4 damper, probably wasting your time going much below that, but that'd be an idea. And what you should see is you go each of those blocks, you'll get bigger distances on specific dampers. You can fine that a little bit more. You go 10, 9, 8, 7 and try and make it a little bit smaller, but you'll see less of a differential on that. It's the best way to try and get a feel of what the perfect damper is. So when you step in a HYROX event, or just step onto a machine, you adjust that down to your optimal settings specifically for you. Okay, so next thing we're going to look at, guys, is going to be foot strap position. Okay, so these little feet strap will slide up and they will also slide down. If you have smaller foot, you want to set these higher, and if you have a larger feet, you want to set them a little bit lower. So for me, I'm about a 4, and the reason for that, when I'm in and strapped in, we want this band, this foot strap, to come between the top of my foot and my toes. And that's going to allow me to create enough flexion through my foot without limiting power efficiency. Okay, so we're going to look at row technique now. Okay, so if we were in a HYROX event, we want to make sure that we have both feet in and also secure before we grab a hold of the handles. If we do the opposite and go one hand foot in and then reach and then start pulling, they'll likely penalize you. Obviously, if you're not on HYROX, don't fret about that. Just get on and start going. So technique now, let's have a look at this. So start point is going to be here. So we want our shins vertical, straight up and straight down. We want to be holding onto the bar with the arms fully extended and our body actually leaning forward slightly here, okay? So the first drive position is actually a hinge. What we're trying to do is hinge our body back. So from here, we let our body hinge. When our shoulders come beyond that hip line, we then start creating leg drive. Once our legs are fully extended, we're going to lean them back. We're then going to create that drive through the arms, pulling back through our shoulder blades, pull into our belly button. To release, we go the opposite. So we then go arms, body starts hinging. Once the handles come beyond knee level, we then start bending through our legs, continue to lean. Once we get our shins to vertical, we then repeat that through. I'll show you that once again. So again, first moving, hinge, beyond shoulder level, beyond hip level, then create that leg drive. Once our legs are extended, we then have the arm drive in, and then again release, arms, hinge, legs, start releasing once again. We go beyond knee level, continue to lean, come down to that vertical position through our shin, okay? So all that together. Should look a bit like that. Let me know how you get on.